Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the Lego City project. As you guys can see, the tables are an absolute mess at the moment. But we're just about to plan out an expansion to the table, which is going to sit over here. So it's going to make a little U shape. But the main thing that I wanted to start with today is organizing. So we've got a bunch of these boxes and we're basically going to fill them up with all the different parts. I'm not going to bore you guys with sorting all the parts in. We'll just have a look once everything is in where it needs to go. We've still got all of these blue boxes to sort through, which have a bunch of different parts in, as well as some different projects, some of which are sitting down under the table here as well. But, everything's coming along, and it's just going to be a little bit by little bit until we get what we want. Still tough to be able to try and fit everything in, so we'll see how it goes. But wish me luck on the sorting the parts. All right, so we've done a lot, by the way, of part sorting. As you guys can see, we've got the towers here full of all the different parts. I'm not going to go into all of the drawers, but there's drawers like this that are just full of pieces, which are going to be useful for all of the greenery and mountains and underlying plate, just to make everything look nice. Things for making mountains over here, as well as the bricks, the colorful bricks for mills plating, all of the tiles on top in all of those boxes there. We've got a bunch of plates. In the white IKEA box is tires and whatnot, heaps of just 16 by 16 plates, as well as road plates that we have spare. We might need more depending on how we go, and these are all little parts here. I still need to sort through these boxes. But the top boxes up there are just parts that I'm not going to use very often, if at all. Over the other side of the mirror, we've got a Christmas tree, but in these boxes, not all of them are full yet, but there's a lot of them. They just have those angled sort of parts. I'm not going to use them too much, but they are still useful to have, as well as a bunch of plates, which are not going to be anywhere near as useful as some of the dark grey and light bluish grey, etc. I think the last thing that I'll really need to do is get some of these, blocks, snot bricks, to be able to have their own drawer, just to divide that up a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with how the storage is going, and we have a fair bit of space more. I guess the next stage is being able to sort through these remaining boxes. The top one has minifigures in, the bottom ones have just other parts that still need to get sorted through. So not too bad. Gonna get some of these trucks out of the shelves, and then we can display all of the sets that we want to underneath. Now, next stage, we did something. We built a little expansion to the Lego table. The reason why this one's at a lower height is because if it's at the same height as the usual table, it wouldn't be able to fit the Eiffel Tower because the roof gets in the way of that. So we thought, all right, let's go down a little bit more. We're going to have a massive staircase going down at the front here, and then a little area to be able to get through into the underground train station, which will be at the front where the Harry Potter car is and the other blue car. So that'll be in that area there. But the stairway will lead down to hopefully the Trevi Fountain at the front here. And then the Eiffel Tower, which is going to be absolutely massive sitting here. It will be looking really good. But I will want to make a base plate for that so it sits nicely in there, and then we maybe create a nice little frontage there to be able to lead into the underground train station. So I've got grand plans. The next stage, I think, is going to be putting some of our sets in this cabinet here that I made. It's strong enough. It'll house the sets that I want, and I'm hoping that I still have enough space for everything that's sitting up here that won't be going into the Lego City, because there's still a bit. And even in my office, I still have a box full of Lego Star Wars stuff. So we'll have to see how all of that fits on the shelf, how it all looks, and go from there. Alrighty, this is the cleanest that the Lego room has looked in a while. It's still a bit messy, but, we've got a lot of the vehicles cleaned up. I've put them all in this box over here, as well as having a little bag over here that has some more vehicles in. There's still these parts to sort through, train parts to add, and yeah, all of this stuff to be able to sort. This box is just, dismantle and then put the pieces away. Quickie Mart needs to go back up here, but, it's we're coming along. We're getting somewhere. I just need to decide what I'm going to do with the back area, because I want to try and display the Disney castle, because there's not really anywhere else that it can go. So I need to figure out some way of putting it up the back there. I have got an idea, but the difficult thing is I want to do a train line up here, and it's either got to be at ground level or it's got to be an elevated train line, which I'm leaning more towards an elevated train line, meaning that this one, the Brickcross station, will sit on the upper platform next to the Disney castle, basically. So I've got to figure that out and what dimensions that's going to be, because that's going to take up a lot of that backspace there. I'll probably reposition most of these buildings and redo a bit of a road layout that I like. And then we've got to design a park and hopefully have a water area as well, so we can utilize the lighthouse, as well as having like a little beach area, which would be nice. We've got plenty of work to do on our own custom builds, such as the skyscraper, which most of it's there, and then the rest of it's here for the moment. But as you can see, I've only done one floor. You guys would have seen the video on YouTube, being able to go through that and eventually get it up to a height that we're going to be happy with. But I also want to think about the positioning so that it's not going to obscure vision either. So I'm still thinking about what layout is going to work best. If you guys have any feedback or comments, please let us know. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything's looking so far. The last part that I'll go over just very quickly to be able to show off, this is pretty much the place of the Trevi Fountain, and then I'm going to have the Eiffel Tower here. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too crowded. It should have enough room, so we'll see. Anyway, down to here. So we're going to show off some of the Star Wars Lego that I have. So I only have a limited amount of sets. I used to have more. I did sell them once upon a time, but yeah, these are some of my favorite ones that I've kept. So, or bought even after I sold a lot. Down here, we have the Lord of the Rings sets. The placement of that isn't final because I still need to add Rivendell to here. And I feel like that's going to take up most of the space down here. So I might even need to move, you know, one of these or both of these sets, maybe even move these Star Wars sets so I can put the Shire down here or up here. But yeah, then we have the Legend of Zelda sets as well, or the Legend of Zelda set. Look over here, we've got in the corner, we've got some of the Star Wars Lego, Gringotts Bank, just because, you know, it's cool to have. I can't bring myself to dismantling this one and piecing it out, but, you know, I'm okay with it not being fully on display here. Some more Star Wars sets, little bits and pieces here for the Star Wars universe. Again, I didn't want to disassemble the Starfighter hyperspace ring, whatever it's called. We got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I think all the dwarfs are in there. Some Fortnite and seasonal stuff. We've got A-frame cabin plus the trees out the back there. We've got Everyone is Awesome and Winnie the Pooh. Some Lego Harry Potter. Some Lego Marvel themed things such as Avengers and Spider-Man. This one I got as a wedding gift, which is the Lamborghini, green Lamborghini. Plus some Marvel Avengers themed stuff, which couldn't fit in, which will most likely go into the city. I just don't know where yet. And, you know, some of these sets might even make their way in. So like Hagrid's Hut, maybe even Winnie the Pooh or the Snow Whites and the Seven Dwarfs, they have chances of making it into the city, but I'm just not convinced. Same with this one down here, the Lilo and Stitch one. I feel like that could make it into the city, but it's just trying to find a place for it. And then Tails in his plane, because I thought that was cool. And these ones, these are, I don't even know what the sets are called, but they're pretty old school, and I just couldn't bring myself to taking those apart, piecing them out, because I just don't think a lot of the pieces would be useful anyway. So I think it's better to just have the display sets. So there we go. Everything's looking good. The holiday train is back there, and same with the Orient Express. We've got this one just underneath here for the moment, just as a bit of storage, because I'm not going to be using this area for quite some time. So that one's just going to sit there out of the way. And that's the city so far. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.